Hi, welcome back to my channel. I have very kindly been sent the Kalat cards by Denis Kalat and Inge Laan and Raoul Kalat for review for the channel. And you have seen these in a couple of videos recently, as of March 2025. And I have been working with them, so I have seen them, but I wanted to do the unboxing justice when I, came to do it. So that's why I chose to do this, because it's a system in itself, and I just felt it needed a little bit of time before I came on and sort of, showed it. Now, I still am not able to fully work with this in the system that it's been designed to be, so I will show you how I work with it currently and how you can work with it. And also, those of you who do use this, I would love to hear what you have to say about it. So this is from Kalat World, if you're interested. So if you go across to Kalat World, and as you can see, we're entering the world of Kalat. It's got 52 card system with 3 bonus cards, and it also has the seasons inside. So, excuse me, Denis Kalat combined forces with the illustrator, and they're proud to present this deck of Kalat cards. They are a Whisper, slightly dark fairy tale, situated in the Scandinavian kingdom of Kalat. So the Kalatian map divides into 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer and autumn, and these well-known seasons have a big influence on the spreads that are used. There is a 136-page guidebook that covers all cards and contains easy explanations. Now, if you've been struggling to get a deck that covers all the seasons and you don't want a deck per season, this is probably the deck for you. This also can be used in a Lenormand situation, so you can read it like a Lenormand. But it's not Lenormand, so it has different meanings to the cards. And the cards, of course, as I say, are their own system, their seasons. And you can also just use it as you would a clarifying card for tarot spreads. So inside, it comes with, this one has come with 2 cards. So we have their kind of business card, I'll call this. This is an autumn card, which I know by the, no, it's not. These, I thought it was just that one. These are the seasons. So these symbols represent the seasons. So we have winter. That one's spring, summer, autumn. And there you have there, www.kalatworld. They have a Facebook group where you can learn more about the cards and spreads. They are on Instagram, and you can email them here if you wish to contact them. So inside this box, I have been given a Salt Witch card, which is a kind of blessing card. So it's another telling us where the deck comes from. So these are very nice. The deck comes with a little letter from Kalat World. So it's a thank you for your purchase, and telling you about you will experience everything will seem to go easier in life, hopefully inspiring you. This is about your Salt Witch energy card. The card has been charged, so yeah, this just tells us about card, and to charge the card yourself, how to do that. And of course we have a sign off there. And on the website, they have English. The guide is also available in Dutch, French, German, Italian, Norwegian and Spanish, so you are all invited to come join this wonderful world of Kalat. So we have a guidebook, and we have the Kalat map on there. And we have the cards and this lovely lift out ribbon. So nice magnetic guide box. So the cards themselves come with bronze edging. They are like a nice poker size, handheld, pocket size. My favourite type of sized card, which is probably why I've fallen quite hard for these. And these are the fronts, and the backs have the Kalat World map on the back as well. I leave this there. So let's take a quick look in the guidebook. So we have copyright, and these are 2023. Again, Kalat World. So here's your introduction from Denis. And he is in both of the Facebook groups, and they're giving out information if you wish. So if you post your spread and you post what you think you've got on your spread and you ask for help, he so far for me has been very kind, and he's popped in and either confirmed what I'm thinking so that I have the insurance that I am thinking the right thing with the cards, or to help give guidance if I'm really stuck. So how to approach the cards. So they propose for every week of the year that there is a card, hence the reason 52 cards, 52 weeks of the year. We will find the week number and the name of the card. And then we have a short story and important keywords. And you put the cards together like you would in Lenormand to create a word or a meaning or a phrase or a saying or a sentence. So here they're saying if you put sun and a house together, you might well come up with summer house. House and sun may be a house warming party because the house comes first. So house, sun warms. Here we go, pie and tram, food or pizza courier. So food courier, I suppose, would make more sense to me than a pizza. And tram and pie could be an onboard restaurant. I guess like on a train. So the order of the cards makes a difference to how the cards read. So you wouldn't always put the 3 cards together in any order and it read the same thing. It would change the complete meaning of the sentence. So here we go. So we have a little bit of information about winter. So card 51 is the first seasons begins of winter. So that must be, I think what you do is you take the weeks of the year. So week 51, when week 51 starts is when you pull out card 51 if you want to do a card for every week. And it just gives us some more information here about working through winter, and it's a slow passing. And then it starts with the moon card. So if we just have a look at the moon card, which is this one with the stag. Beautiful card. The deer wants to shine in the winter solstice moonlight. The enchanting moon gives everything a silver lining. So keywords here, we have ego, reputation, beautification, reflection, enchanting, recognition, appreciation, dreaming, and appearance. On this special night, the moon lights things up and makes them more beautiful. It's like your Christmas decoration, makeup, glitter, and glamour. And that's why it never hurts to take another look at things in the light of day. So we have some information if you're doing a small row, so say 3 cards in a row. So if you had moon and sun in a small spread, row or column, it might indicate polarization because polar opposites of each other. So the whistling in the theatre is a bad omen for the premiere performance. A toy ushers in my dance on a frozen moonlight lake. Tonight I want to allure the audience with my talent. I live to shine in the spotlight and for the melody of the echoing applause. In the theatre wings, I ask myself if it's worth being tormented by the mirror every day. Maybe this was my swan song. So I will be very honest. I think this is if you pull the card and you want it to relate to the season. So if I pull this card now, we're in spring, it's this meaning if I want a saying, or I use this if I'm doing a sentence of cards. And that goes through for each card until we get to the back. Now there are a few new different cards back here. We have asklings. You can do gender. We have the mirror cards. And then spreads. Now this is really complicated and I haven't worked out how to put these down yet, including a tableau style spread. You need a lot of space for that. So plenty to go in here to get you going. And you've got the 2 Facebook groups to help you out as well. Okay, so we've seen the moon. This one is stars. Although I must admit, when I first saw it, I thought it was something to do with plants, and it reminded me of Patrick Valence's decks. So this is the last week of the year. And so I suppose with the stars, that was quite fitting because then you move into the celebration of New Year. Here we have week 1, so January. And this is a tram. Then we have the snow globe. We have the clock, which can be about changes, security, stagnation as well. Here we have the thief, so loss or theft, decay, maybe scarcity. We have the bridge, so as you can see, there's obstructions, blockage, could be something's broken. We have the queen, so she reminds me of the Queen of Swords very much so. So somebody who's driven, maybe very distant, perhaps a cold energy. She might be egocentric, probably very stubborn, and probably very straight talking. Here we have the labyrinth. So for labyrinths, to get through a labyrinth, if you're thinking you might have to orientate yourself, or you need to understand the path through, it's a challenge, and in that weather you might also need to adapt to your surroundings. We have the beggar. This one always reminds me of St. Charles's Bridge. So dependency, lonely. The tower, we have any tower gives us that kind of authoritarian feeling, maybe order or enforcement, bureaucracy, that's a good one. Establishment is another word that I often use. The ring, we have, so rings often stand for contracts and commitments, if you think of wedding rings. I suppose that you could also class that as a chain, like the old ball and chain. The heart, obviously we have, it's half frozen. So emotions, passionate enthusiasm, disappointment, compassion. Now we're moving into spring. So first week of spring. This is, so spring is fast. It answers usually with yes, depending on the amount of spring cards in your spread. So if you're doing like a 5-card spread, I think you maybe would use how many cards to the season are there, if it's a yes, no question. So this is flowers, and it obviously represents, because they're quite beautiful, cherry blossom. So growth, blossom, hope, appreciation. The cocoon, although I think I called it a chrysalis. So you've got transformation, rebirth, healing, maybe going on a sabbatical. It's a bit like that hermit card, really, enveloping yourself in safety. Here we have Huldra. So Huldra is a lady with a tail, which you see there poking out just by my thumb. She doesn't always have your best interest at heart, so trickery and deceit. So do watch out for her. So she's very deceiving, manipulative. So we've got seduction, dangerous, maybe a slight threat, perhaps even a nemesis. Crossroads or path, crossroads. So you've obviously got your choices, it's split, you've got multiples, duplicities, separation, so decisions to be made. Now this is one of the asklings, and in a spread, this askling, so this one faces the past and there's one that faces the future. So that's worth noting as well. So this is an askling of the past, and so therefore it's the querent's past, so your past. So history, old-fashioned, maybe previous, something ancient, something former. Here we have the house. And on this one, so the home, homestead, family life, maybe privacy, the center. So it's your, where your family dwells. So it's kind of your security blanket. Just do that. And so this one is about wings, not the moths. Although they are moths, so upgrade, moving, fertility, reproduction. We have the tree, so it's a very nice, strong, healthy tree. So of course, health, grounding, if you think about the roots, life, because trees give life. So it could also represent body, because it's an earthy, materialistic substance. And here we have the askling of the future. So now, present, future, so new, next, and upcoming. And of course, it represents the querent, or the person in a querent's life, if you're asking specifically about that. I like this card. Now, I've had this image as a screensaver that goes on the back of my Zoom calls for years. So I don't know where it came from, but I remember pulling it off Google Images years and years ago. But I was quite surprised to see it in here. So I don't know if they've shared it prior to this deck coming out. I do need to look into that, really. So dice is the answer to this, and to me they're very magical. So gambling, playing, lottery, maybe a windfall, good fortune with these. unpredictability as well, something unexpected. For the key, we make create, activate, innovate, improving, testing out solutions. Of course, I also often see the key as unlocking the issue, so not necessarily testing out solution, but unlocking the issue. Here we have the well. In the world of Kalat and other parts of Europe, the well would have been a place where it would have been a social gathering, because you'd all go to get your water. So you'd maybe meet here. It does suggest social media for the well. I mean, I guess that makes sense. But I suppose around a well, you've got that family reunion issue as well there. So we have the traveller, so somebody who is free of spirit, free of soul, a nomad, somebody trading maybe, storytellers often come from these kind of folklores, entrepreneur perhaps, freedom, maybe you're looking for freedom, maybe you're looking to set out and go travelling. So this is the start of summer, so summer moves slowly, answers usually with a yes depending on the amount of cards in your spread, but it's a slow yes, so it's not a fast answer to your question. So this is the sun, this actual card, and so it represents the week with the year's longest day, the summer solstice. So it should hopefully fit into that week 25. And we have illuminating optimism, success, celebrating all the good things that come with the summer solstice. Bees, or the hive. So thinking with the hive, obviously colleagues, work, because you're working together. Collective, could also be hierarchy. Coins. Thinking, so this reminds me of the Chinese coins, luck coins. So I'm thinking like money, wealth, abundance. This also says things like turning over profit, shops and enterprise. For the harbour, so it's not the boat, it's the harbour in general. Travelling, transport, movement, distance, foreign departures, expeditions, exploring, emigrating. So if you think about what the harbour actually stands for in a greater context. A message in a bottle. So this is our letter. So could be exactly that. So some type of invitation or order coming to you. So that could be anything, tickets, advertising, emails, any way in which a communication might come in a written format. Our dogs, always friendly, loyal, trustworthy usually. This could be a pet child, probably me, my fur babies. The obedience, they can sometimes be docile, brave, protective, or frisky. So the dog, it depends on the type of dog, I suppose, that we're talking about, but that little dog has lots of energy. Here's our mermaid. So mermaids are often sporty. They're very healthy, they're careless, playful. The mermaid itself is an eccentric thought, so we have eccentricity here, self-willed, lightness. And if we look at the summer card that goes with this, nice to replenish your burned calories with an abundance of delicious blueberry cheesecake protein shakes. Oh yes, please. Need to burn the calories first. So for a child, think of everything that goes with a child, disobedience, teenager, rebellion, pureness, innocence, fantasies, boundaries that need to be put in place, vulnerabilities. The pearl in the shell, so status. Pearls always used to be a thing of status. Influence rising, maybe upgrading, perhaps even style or values. And of course in other divination systems it would also be wisdom, intuition. So for the wave, think about them, they're quite strong. So dynamic waves, acceleration, they're very fast. Keeping balance, they fluctuate, the resilience needed. They also can cause a lot of disarray and drifting as they pull you in and out. Jellyfish, so problems, difficulties, awareness. Oh yeah, you don't want to be in the water with a jellyfish with long tentacles, do you? Rash. They can cause a rash, infection, complaints, poison. Lightning. So lightning, as you see, can cause immediate division, splittings, endings. They are very fast energy, very forceful and spontaneous. But it can strike twice. So this is our lighthouse. So they're like beacons, aren't they, for navigating, for guiding and orientating what you're doing. They're also watchers, and they're always scanning, perceiving any warnings that it needs to give you. So this is autumn, and here's our symbol here, autumn. So we're on to card 38. So autumn again is fast, but it answers no, depending on the amount of autumn cards in your thing. So for our rose, we have obviously, it's in a glass jar, but we're cherishing, preserving, we're trying to honour or worship. There is also, though, the feeling of impermanence with putting the rose in the jar. They do dwindle eventually. Ember pie. Ooh, see the embers burning inside. That looks tasty. So consuming, hoarding, connecting. Hoarding. It's probably me. Enjoyment, recharge. The library brings us knowledge with the books. So fairly simple education, study, findings. The phone is communication. So we have wine, so that could be more than just communication. That could be a gossip, small talk, chatting to your friend, but also listening with a phone. We have our ghost, so feeling like you're being looked through, looked past, looked beyond, so unnoticed. Caring, guiding, shielding. Compassion, maybe. Selfless. And solitude, if you feel like you're invisible. The Ouija, so this one could be self-sabotage. And if you're looking for a yes and you get this card, it's a false yes, it's not a true yes. Again, back to self-sabotage. So it's a bit of an insidious card in the deck. The Scarecrow can be trauma, regrets, head hung low look, so maybe mourning or suffering, the position at which this person is on this cross. It can also, so in this deck, this can also represent a form of mental illness. So perhaps it's a warning that you need to, seek help, professional help. But it can also be sorrow or exhaustion. So if you've lost somebody and you get that, then it's probably more about the sorrow side of things. For the gate, confused, insecure, doubt, distrust. Are you going through or aren't you going through? Are you delusional? Are you fearing something? Is there something sinister on the other side? This is a pretty card. I think it's all the lilac in it. So this is rain. So rain is very purifying, cleansing. Secrets, lies, admit, revealing. So it brings a lot with this one. Are you sheltered, and do you see things that are being purified as masks will fall off? Do you actually wear a mask yourself under your umbrella? Which friends remain if you are ill for a long time? Are you in mourning longer than socially desirable? The rain shows the true colours of things. That's probably very true, actually. The volcano, adrenaline, stress, anger, outbursts. Yes. Emotional. Maybe over-enthusiastic, bubbling to the top. The king, so like an emperor, wise, calm, balanced, responsible, thoughtful. But in this case, a down-to-earth king with brown colours rather than the emperor who would be in red and very Marsy. This one's very down-to-earth. Here we have twilight. So at twilight we have the twilight brings a completion of what's going on as we're moving into nightfall. The resignation and acceptance that you can no longer do anymore to change something. There is also nostalgia here because we have the bench with candle looking out over. So remembrance as well. Respite maybe. Now this is an interesting card. So this is the Aurora. And here the Calations believe that you should never wave, whistle or sing to the Aurora. It is feared that the Aurora will take you away if you attract too much attention. So first thing I saw when I saw this card was, like, we have the spirals in the UK, that I saw the spiral and I saw health with all the green in here. and heart chakra. And then obviously reading the law of Kalat World, it's interesting to now discover that actually it can mean the complete opposite. So it feels like, so here we've got things like wishes or amazement, afterlife, spirits, or religion, everywhere, and internet. So it could be, if you had, I don't know what cards, say you had a man and this one, it could be telling you that the spirit is visiting or that person is about to pass. I can't remember if it was in the group that I saw this set up or if I actually got the setup while I was waiting for somebody to pass. So we have the, where are we? So these are the mirror cards, and these ones can represent spirit. So where are they? The mirror cards. 3 mirror cards, extra bonus. So these are personal portraits that you can use to represent people in your lives too. So the dog, Ina, died when she was 14. She was a Cairn Terrier. Stubbornness made her laugh. So you can use this one to portray a pet. Then we have the child. So this one represents Auntie Hilda. So you can use this to represent anyone that's younger in your lifetime. So this poor person died when they were 4. Gift to mother and siblings. Now they have this small card as a memory. So again, so you can use that one there. And here is inspiration. So this person showed the creator of this deck the way to pursue your dreams and life experience. They passed away with cancer. So again, you can lay this one to represent a person who is missing in your life. So if you wanted to represent a specific someone, you could put one of these down and use them as the start of your spread, and then you can lay your cards next to it for the message that you want from. Okay. So obviously I don't keep these ones in the deck when I'm working with it because they feel like they're specific querent cards. Okay, so let's lay a 3-card spread and just have a look at what the book says about it. So these ones shuffle with the lovely whoosh whoosh sound. If I didn't mention it, they are matte. They've got a lovely indie cardstock feel to them, that's all I can say. So you do need a question to ask. So here's where I get really bad because I'm terrible at questions. I don't want a yes or no question. What to ask? We could try, for fun, I suppose, how to best manage my partner's hangover this morning. Let's try that, shall we? So I've not got a card coming out, so we'll split the deck. Take 1, 2, 3. Doesn't look very promising, does it? So the book says we have card 5. So they're numbered, so you just follow the order in the book. So we have the bridge. Yeah, we know he's definitely broken. There's definitely an obstruction, resistance. The hangover is resisting. So is that number 6? No, 8, sorry. The beggar. Lonely. And number 45. I think it's just a case of having to sort through it and let the hangover write itself out. Ignorance, I suppose. So, I mean, you might see something else there, but that's how I feel. So we are, the hangover, they've probably given themselves more than they bargained for with how much they drank last night. So they've probably got to get rid of that in their system, and they're just going to have to make their way through it. If I give them anything, it's probably going to make them feel worse. And yeah, the fear of the other side probably. So that is one way of doing a 3-card reading. You can do a 5-card reading. Again, that's too big for me because, as you see, I struggle to put these into sentences. But working my way through and getting there, I'm really enjoying this system. So what I will do is I'll show you how I have been working with it, which is completely different to this. Okay, so I've been using this as a Earth, Air, Fire, Water, Spirit reading. So this is how I have been working with it, and also as an oracle at the end of a tarot card reading. So I've been using different decks to do this. So I'm using Mythologica fennika for my Earth. Air is the Elemental North Tarot. Fire is the Modern Tarot Reader by Claire Goodchild. And Water is the Good Tarot by Kalat Baron Reed. They're just bigger cards. So you can also see how different they are. And here's the spirit or the presiding question. But I've just been putting them down as, that's my higher self. So the globe, this one comes to the top a lot. So this one is about my surroundings. So if we just have a quick look, number 2, snow globe. So your world, surrounding, safe, secure, durable, passive, ongoing, predictable, repeating, satisfied, control, ongoing. So I've shuffled these and put them down. I've got the decks facing up because that's how I work with this one rather than laying it out differently. But I just found it really interesting with how the cards fell to go with the snow globe. So we have the 4 of Swords. So we've got my surroundings, we've got rest, Hermit going within, Suit of Elixirs. So that'll be the Knight of Cups, and 6 of Earth, so give and take, 6 of Pentacles. So it feels like this is also talking to me about what I just asked. How does somebody get over their hangover? Here's the somebody. They need to just stay in their surroundings. They need to take it easy. They need to sort themselves out, so only they can do that. So it's them within, and obviously some give and take. So balancing what their input is versus their output. So let's just move this on a couple of cards. Oh, next. I must put my deck upside down, sorry. So here we have the stag or the moon, 10 of Cups, 2 of Wands, Page of Cups, and we have 10 of Earth. So we've got 2 10s. We have the moon, card 51. So we started with that one at the start of the spread. Ego, reputation, beautification, reflections, enchanting, recognition, appreciation, dreaming, and appearance. Or we go back to the toy, toy, toy. Ushers in my dance on a frozen, moonlighted lake. Tonight I want to allure the audience with my talent. So today is Mother's Day. So 10 of Earth, 10 of Cups kind of is very fitting. 2 of Wands, I do have to go and see her, so I need to work out today at what point I get to go down to see my mum. And the Page of Elixirs. So learning to be a good child to my mother. 10 of Earth, obviously the family connection coming together. Same with 10 of Cups really for me. So we have that. So this is how I've been using these cards. Let's take Will-o'-the-Wisp. Got 3 of Earth. What should we have here? Take a couple off. Oh, we have the Health. 6 of Swords, Direction, and Journey the Fool with 3 of Earth. So 5 of Cups, so that kind of dissatisfied feeling with the 6 of Swords, guidance on where to go, stepping forward, maybe even trying something new whilst doing so, and it's going to be a collaboration, isn't it, with the health factors being taken into account here. So So I'm going to wrap it up here. That's where I've got to with working with these cards, and I know that a few other people have done some great videos on these. So you've got Amethyst Ascension, also has this deck because she's recently done a review and shown a bigger spread. Kelly Fitz at Truth and Story has a couple of great videos on this as well, and I'm sure there are other people on YouTube, but I know I've watched both of those, definitely. And oh yes, don't forget to go over to the Kalat YouTube channel. They've started doing weekend spreads, or spread for the week ahead, and you can see how it's being used with the elements there as well. And that's a really interesting way of using these cards. If you want to reach out to me, my email address is in my description box and under my about section too. So you can always contact me if you wish me to do a review for you. And for those of you that have got this deck, I'd love to know how you're using it and how you're getting on with learning the system and what your favourite way to use it is. And for those of you who haven't, have you been tempted? Is this the seasonal deck that you've been looking for to finally complete the rest of your collection? And I also should say there is a second deck being in the creation, but it's all available and the information is all on their Facebook pages. So go ahead and take a look. Until next one, take care. Bye.